Hello guys and welcome to SteveKnows. What a week it has been, like seriously. I was sitting back, holding back my urge to dive in because then I'd ruin the weekly news update that a lot of you come back for, and there is some amazing work going on that gives us access to hidden Oculus features which will now allow me to use my headset as my workspace for work, so I can have my keyboard, my mouse and my desktop all in the same space and actually be practical. We've got insights to what the next Oculus update is going to be. We also have some problems with the current update, new games coming soon, new tech. There is so much here, so that is enough. Let's get started. Kick this off with a new game announcement. We've got another reminder about a game that is coming soon to the Oculus Quest. It's going to be here in June. That I have spoken about this before on the channel, but it's been such a long time since I brought it up, and we've now got new gameplay footage for it after Oculus posted on their blog for a game called Sam and Max. This time it's virtual. This game is going to have exclusivity on the Oculus Quest platform, and it will then soon be released, followed by the Rift and the Steam VR platform, but at a later date. The game looks like it's inspired by old school detective movies, and it is a franchise that some of you may be familiar with. It's been around for a very long time, but this time it's in virtual reality, hence the name of the game. The game is designed to be very funny with some rapid fire wit as they try and solve crimes, and you're now trying to help them solve these crimes as chaos has ensued in the city. We have 5 minutes of early gameplay footage, and you can see in it the animated art style that you can expect, some of the jokes you can expect, the voice acting, and some of the interesting characters like a small tiny little rat thing. You can expect monster slaying, obstacle courses and puzzles in this game. It's coming in June and it should cost $29.99. And now another game that's coming soon. It has a Kickstarter available that I will leave a link down below in the description so you guys can check it out, and I've backed this myself. It's called Gym Masters. The game is going for a different kind of route for virtual reality fitness and turning the genre on its head and making it a story-driven experience. It does this by interweaving fitness minigames with a storyline and some progression as you take on Gym Masters. Some of the gameplay shown in the teaser show off some games such as punching away soda cans, dodging pizzas that are thrown at you whilst you're in a car chase. So in that one you have to get your squat game on. It's a bit like a Fit XR experience. There's also running on the spot whilst you're trying to swat away flies in a sweaty gym, and you'll also be able to create your own personal gym. So if you want to dive in and just play some mini games to stay fit, you can create a custom environment, a custom gym just for you, which is a great little touch because sometimes you're going to favour certain mini games over others. The art style and the vibe of this game is so retro, it's turning back the clock and taking us back to the 80s, which I do like. The game looks bright, it looks fun, and others tend to take themselves too seriously. So the Kickstarter, I'll leave a link down below in the description. It's only $12 and you'll get early access to it and the full game. Or you can spend a lot and actually be a gym leader in this title. So let's move on to this week's main event. This week, many of you may have seen it already. It's super exciting. So someone called Basti564 has become a staple name this week in virtual reality, enabling us to access in-development features on the Oculus Quest that are not yet available. So I'm going to talk through this and then I'll show you how to access it for yourself. It is super easy. You don't need to be tech savvy in order to access this stuff. So the first one is the instructional setup for a new feature called intrusion detection. This feature, you will be notified if someone or something is entering your guardian space. So now while we're playing, our friends can't sneak up on us and try and scare us while we're playing something like Dread Halls and they're going to give us a massive jump scare like they used to, but don't tell them that, we can get our own payback. This feature is going to work up to 3 meters to tell if someone's walking in, so 3 meters squared space, that's tons of leeway if you have a small play space and you want to make sure that no one enters super early. This doesn't work with items, however, that are smaller than your controller, so if you've got tiny kids and babies or perhaps little toys around, please be careful. I wouldn't want something incredibly bad to happen as you're playing virtual reality but you're supposed to be babysitting the child. It also says that mirrors and walls will not be included in this, so you'll still have to set up your guardian and limit your play space to make sure that you're not going to hit things such as a mirror, wall or a TV like I've done in the past. Another feature is the ability to create portals in your virtual reality space so you can see certain parts of the world in virtual reality via pass-through. So I laid out my desk in virtual reality with this feature and I was able to hook up my keyboard to my headset and then work on my Quest as if it was my desktop. It was so good. I was able to type, surf the internet. It was pretty epic. And because I can't touch type perfectly, having the ability to actually see my keyboard, just a quick look down, makes such a difference and actually enables me to work comfortably. For those that are interested, I've got the Logitech K830, which has a built-in trackpad, and it's also designed to be held like a keyboard, like a tablet as well, because it's got buttons at the top for you to click. And I believe Oculus recommends this keyboard as well once Infinite Office is actually available. So I connected this via an external Bluetooth device, because the Bluetooth on the headset on the Quest at the moment is really bad. For some reason it causes performance issues. So until they fix that, I'm going to stick a Bluetooth device into the headset and do it that way. So to activate these secret features, because there's lots more of them, you can download the APK from Basti's GitHub. I'll leave a link down below in the description, and you install it like any other APK. Plug your headset into the computer and drag and drop it into SideQuest. If you don't have a computer, I will leave my friend Mystical's video on how to do this using a mobile device so you can sideload it still. So once it's installed, put on the headset, go to apps, change the filter to unknown sources, and you should see virtual reality launcher. It doesn't let you record whilst you're in this, so I did sideload it onto my phone so you can see what's actually going on. So you'll choose your Quest version, and then you'll choose the feature in the drop-down menu. So you can choose anything such as pass-through portal and select go. This will then activate that feature. And you can do this with so many built-in features on the Oculus Quest. You can just scan through, see what's available. There's plenty there for you to spend a good couple of hours just having a fiddle. Basti has also been sharing the source code of the firmware and has found some nice secret features that could be coming in the next update. So there's the possibility of a notification feature, as he has discovered things such as HTML code for instructional content in the source code. They are looking at bringing phone notifications into the Oculus Quest, which I love. I'm currently using NotifyVR, so I get texts, Discord messages, and reminders that my delivery's here, because I always miss stuff when I'm playing virtual reality. Time just flies by, and hopefully eventually you can make calls as well. But I like this feature. It sounds great to have phone notifications in the headset, but as long as you've got the ability to turn them off if you don't want them. And there are also hints at 120 Hz in this firmware, so it could be sooner than we thought that we're going to get this feature, because there was a string that says that you can increase the display refresh rate to 120 Hz when a supported app requests it, but with an additional warning that it may affect the headset's temperature and the battery life, which we could have guessed. We already kind of knew that as well, because if the hardware is trying to push more frames out, it's going to be working harder, and of course the temperature would then increase. But they've also said to compensate this, it may reduce the visual quality available. So it sounds like games could reach 120 Hz, but if they've had something like a Quest 2 resolution update, perhaps they're going to reduce that overall resolution to allow it to hit those benchmarks. Interesting. But it's not all good news. Version 27, you may have noticed that this update in the release notes, it's kind of empty. It's a very small update. It didn't bring us much. But it also seemed to bring quite a lot of bugs. So please comment down below. Let me know if you've had issues, because I've had some, such as I've been experiencing screen tearing when I'm trying to screen capture what I'm playing inside the headset. I tried to capture the footage of it, but that didn't work. It just doesn't look nice at all. I also had issues where buttons are not responding, such as my app filter. Nothing's happening at all. And there's also Reddit posts in regards to the Oculus Link performance that version 27 has degraded it. And I kind of have to agree with this, because I don't know what they've done, but previously with the Link, I did a test, I had 2.7 gigabyte speeds, and now with the official Link cable, I have 1.5 gigabits. It's nearly halved. And there's also reports that Virtual Desktop has had degraded performance as well, so there are rumors circulating that Oculus are deliberately degrading streaming performances across the board to try and incentivize people to use the official Rift store. This is super interesting. We know people have done this with companies such as Apple, so please comment down below what you think. Are you having issues, or are you having the contrary? So this story, there was something going around this survey that I didn't get to catch. I tried to click on it, but unfortunately the survey had already ended by the time I clicked on the link. But on Reddit, there was someone who posted Confusion JRPG, thank you. He posted a screenshot of the Oculus User Research Survey. And I don't know how much about the validity of this, so please comment down below if you know anything, and I can add it to the description for the rest of us. But looking at this survey and the news about the new Avatar SDK that's been popping up, could this be true? So Oculus are looking at creating a home environment like our Oculus Homes, where we can invite friends to join us, and it has this kind of custom menu where we can choose games that are supported, where we can dive in together so we can hang out before actually going in and playing a game. And this seems like a great idea, because when you're trying to party up, there's always waiting and chilling, waiting for that friend that takes forever all the time, trying to organize a group. So I really do like this idea, but the images used, they look kind of old looking at the game icons, and it's got the original Oculus Home in there. So perhaps this is something they've been working on for a long time, but I hope this is true. I really like the idea of this, and please comment down your thoughts below, what you'd like to see, and what you think of this. Right, now it is time for something that I'm going to add in these news stories for quick fire stories, stuff that I'm not going to rant on about for ages, but to let you guys know what's been going on, such as cool updates of what virtual reality has to hold for us in the future. So we are aware that Ubisoft are planning on releasing some big virtual reality titles, Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, franchises that are going to get adopted for virtual reality. And it seems Ubisoft are now preparing for the future also, because they've just announced that they've added virtual reality support to their in-house game engine, Snowdrop. And this would also mean that their external partners that make games for them have access to this engine, and they can tweak this for their own specific needs, drive the direction of improvement themselves. So great news. The next one is a milestone hit once again for VR, with Steam VR hitting 3 million monthly users. And when I hear these numbers, it's almost euphoric to see such growth for a medium that so many slated at the start. We're this small little club, like motorcyclists. When you see one another, you give each other that nod and you just know. So 2.4% of Steam users are now virtual reality gamers, and this has been growing month after month since the start of the new year. And also looking at the graphs of virtual reality growth since 2016, it's getting faster and faster. That curve is steepening. And for perspective, this time last year, we have doubled the user base of Steam VR gaming. And this doesn't represent everything, because people were using standalone on its own as standalone, not hooking it up to a computer. So even more users. I'm so happy to see this. Pavlov Shack Beta is also out now. It's free as well. It's on App Lab. I did do dedicated gameplay, extended gameplay, but Build 24, which is what's available on App Lab, has seen some huge changes from what we had recently been playing on Side Quest. The game's still not perfect. There are some bugs, but it is such a fun title. There's so much content there, and it's one of the best FPS shooters you can get on the Quest, and now it's free. So I'll leave a link to that down below. Physics Lab also released a hand tracking title on April Fool's Day, so you can play this with hand tracking or the touch controllers if you so wish, where you can enjoy some incredible Quest physics and hand tracking interactions. This game was loved by many when it was on Side Quest, and it now has an official Quest release. Floor Plan 2 was also released on that day. I spoke about this a lot recently in some of my videos. This also came out on April Fool's Day, and this is like a puzzler where you will traverse in a lift going to floor by floor, completing different puzzles. It's got a weird, wacky animation, just kind of this crazy fun game. Very simple, great for newcomers to VR. This one is now an update from Oculus about their plans on bringing us bigger and better, more complex games to the Oculus Quest platform, and this is great to hear. Oculus has hit mainstream, selling more than other Oculus headsets combined. Virtual reality has hit the mainstream. It's happy days. So they're changing their plans. The director of studio production has said, as far as content goes, we're working on games now, and have been for a while, that's great to hear, that are launching in several years' time. Duran said the average development cycle for Oculus Studios virtual reality titles is getting longer, so you're going to start seeing bigger and more complex games as a result. And this is great to hear, because it's one of those things that people have been saying since the start, that the games just aren't there. They're not to the standard on the Oculus Quest. And at the moment, these are just empty words until we actually see studios releasing games, because he said that they expect these studios to release these games within the next 2 years. And that seems like such a long time, 2 years until we start seeing more complex, bigger and better games. Hopefully it's not going to be that long and we have a quick turnaround, because we're also limited by the XR2 chip. It's still a mobile chipset, so I'm really curious about what they're talking about. Are they hyping? Are they going to pump something out good for us? So time will tell. And I'm going to end this on something pretty cool. If you like Star Wars, or if you like The Mandalorian, the people that are creating the sets for this TV show are using Oculus Quests. I've seen Disney use virtual reality when they were creating the virtual sets for The Lion King, but they're here creating 3D virtual sets for The Mandalorian before they actually create them in real life. I love seeing virtual reality being applied to more things than just gaming. What a great touch. So that's it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching to the end of the video, getting caught up on the latest and greatest in the virtual reality space. Please subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you next week. I also post videos throughout the week as well if you guys are interested in that. So guys, happy gaming. Good day.